Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be doing the first month full recap of my live day trading for the past month. As you know, I created a new strategy and I've been testing it, and it's very profitable. I simulated trading it for a long time and I also back tested for a long time. And this was my first full month in my live account of trading it, and it has been so successful. And I also, not only was I profitable, but my stats were not even excellent. And I also had many beginner mistakes, simple mistakes. The first week of trading this strategy, I didn't even have my full rules locked down. So I think I made $240, something around that. And if I had just followed very simple rules that I didn't have in place, then I would have made $900. So this strategy, I've said this before, is very beginner friendly because you can make many mistakes and there's still profit to be had. So just want to put that out there. So the first week of trading, like I said, I ran into a lot of mistakes. You can ignore these 2 days. This is what we're looking at. The first week was May 25th to May 29th. And I started off with one trade, a loss. Second trade was a loss. Then I had two winning trades on Wednesday. Thursday was a big old mess, had three losing trades. And then on Friday, I had one winning trade, one losing trade. That accuracy is like terrible. And I still made money this week. So that is what I'm talking about, having a beginner friendly trading strategy. This trading strategy is so beginner friendly. So this was like trial and error week, still made money. The next week was an ideal trading week stat wise. Like I really followed my strategy super well, didn't have many hiccups. I just followed my rules. And I ended up making $996 this week. This was my best week of trading, June 1st to June 5th. Then the third week, I had some slip ups. I completely missed two winning trades. One, I was like driving out. I live in the woods and I was driving and I didn't have cell service and I missed a trade while I was driving. So that was $300 just gone. That's something about the strategy. You really can't miss a winning trade because the winners are so big that they eat up the losers, and you can have many losses, but that one win is very important. So entering each trade is very important. So I lost out on two opportunities to trade. So this week was kind of also trial and error. I really learned that I cannot be driving and running around when price is near my entry zone. So now I have more strict rules around that. But I think I ended up losing $124 this week, something like that. I'm not going to do the math right now, but it was around that. So it was a small losing red week. Okay. That was the only red week the entire month. And I also, there were other things that happened too. Like I was entering late on trades. Um, but it wasn't an ideal trading week anyways. So there's that. Then the last week, June 15th to the 19th, we had on Monday three losing trades. Then we had a huge winner on, was this Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Then we had these are break even trades, the $7 and the $1 trades. They're not break even, they're slightly in profit. I do that so that the stats aren't messed up. Um, Actually, maybe that does mess my stats up. Maybe it makes it look like even better. I'm not sure. Maybe I should just do break even. I don't know. I'll think about that. But had two losers. One was huge. I don't really remember what happened this day. This day is a blur to me. Then we had two winners on Thursday, and this winner, this is the same winner that we just saw. So it kind of carried over into Friday because it was early morning on Friday that it registered. But yeah, we ended the last week. What was it? I think we were $542 in profit. So $542, that's amazing. We had in total, we'll just look at my overall stats. Um, go from May 25th to today. So we are up after 1 month of trading, $1,606. Accuracy is 42.22%, not excellent. But again, we made this much money. Not that this is a crazy amount of money, but like this is one contract, you guys. This is just a single contract of micro gold futures. Okay. So scaling is very on the table, very helpful. I'll go through the scaling in just a second, but this is a pretty low accuracy. I'm wrong 26 times and right 19 times. So there is a lot of forgiveness in this strategy. And that's because the profit factor is higher. In my back testing, my profit factor, all these stats are so much lower than my back testing. So I'm not reaching the mark in terms of what I could be doing because of all the mistakes and the beginner figuring things out. When I back tested if I was doing perfectly, my trade win percentage would be in the 60s. My profit factor is a 3 to 4 ideally. So this is far below that. And my average win to loss trade ratio is higher. It should be 300 to 120. I think it's because I entered late a few times. That's why that's higher than or that's less than 120. It's because I enter early, but I don't know why I guess because of all my break even trades. I think that brings down my average win to loss trade. Yeah, it definitely does. What really matters though to me is that right here you can see that my red days are so much smaller than my green days. That is steady, stable trading. I'm going to show you what my scaling strategy is and why this number is so exciting to me because it is actually just one contract. The cost of one micro gold contract right now to hold a long overnight is $2,444. So my account size right now is just around, it's a little over 5,200. So I have $5,200 in my account. Technically, I think I can afford another contract, but to scale up to 2 contracts so that I'm just doubling all of my profits, doubling my risk, doubling my reward. Um, that would be looking like I'm still looking for 30 points and 12 points. So the risk remains the same, but 30 points would now net me $600 if I scaled up, and risking 12 points would be risking $240. So you're just doubling the profit and loss, but 30 points and 12 points remain the same. I'm not looking for 60 points now. But anyways, the reason why I'm not scaling up right away is because I want a buffer. Because you can see I have periods of time where there's 4, maybe even 5 losses in a row. That's not always happening, but it can happen. And so if I'm taking those losses after I've sized up, all of a sudden, very quickly, I'm not able to afford to scale. I have to go back down to one contract, and then it takes that much longer to earn that back. So I want the buffer there. I'm looking for my account to reach around 6,000, which should be in the next week, maybe week and a half or 2. And then I'll be scaling up to 2 contracts and we'll just immediately be doubling our profits. And I am so excited for that. And then, the time it takes to scale from 1 contract drastically decreases now that I'm at 2 because it still costs the same to enter for that 3rd contract. And I'm making more money. So I get to that benchmark sooner. So the profits just compound. It's amazing. That was my month of trading. I am very curious how you are doing. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.